Hi, are you looking for a new hobby or creative outlet? Do you have about 15 to 20 minutes to spare every day? Then I have something just for you calligraphy. You know what? I've always been fascinated by this fancy lettering that people can do. And I've just decided that it's time for me to learn. I want to be able to handwrite. My Christmas cards. I want to be able to put fancy messages up on my board when my students come in the room. So, this is something that I really want to learn how to do. Now, there are several sources out there for you to actually learn how to do this. For me, I really needed some hands on learning tutorials. So I went ahead and I purchased an online workbook, which is great. It's right here. There's several different workbooks that you can purchase online. The one I went with, I just really liked it because number one, it had the tutorials, the video tutorials, and it was on the cheaper side. So I did a lot of research, chose my workbook. While I was doing that research, I learned that you really need to have the proper utensils in order to start doing calligraphy. So, number one, you need to have some pens. You can't just go grab a ballpoint pen and you're off. So I went ahead and I purchased some pens. I really liked this brand because it had several different colors and both ends have different um, widths of pens. So I bought those. And then you also really need to make sure that you have the correct paper. You want lightweight, smooth paper because these pens that you bought have these felt tips. And if you use a really scratchy paper, it's going to ruin your pens quickly. And it's not that these are super expensive, but they do cost a little chunk of change. So, once you have those two things, your utensils and your writing, then you're ready to start working. You really need to work on the fundamentals. And so, a couple tips to get you started. Number one, the way that you hold the pen is very important. You always want to hold it at a 45-degree angle because that's going to help you when you're applying pressure to the pen. And I know we don't really necessarily think about applying pressure when we are writing, but if you press down too hard, your line's going to be thicker. If you don't press hard enough, your line's going to be too thin. So those are some things you need to work on when you're working on your worksheets. They typically, will come with like the different strokes, and these are going to help you out once you start actually writing letters. So the thickness is depending on the pressure you put. My goal is to be able to write a welcome message on my whiteboard for my students when they come in the fall, just as a greeting. So I'm going to keep working on this. I'm sure if you are interested in calligraphy that you will find some great things to help you out in that. Good luck.